for proof that I'm gonna watch Minions: Rise of Gru in the theater with Soup. So the tickets got stuck, and we needed to get paper tickets. Ew. So I need to come back later for the better tickets. I was talking to the guy who was helping us, and then a family walked in, and they're like, "Excuse me, this is where you check in?" I'm like, "Yeah. Do you already have your tickets?" And then she's like, "Yeah." And then I told her, "Oh, you can scan it with him." She thought I worked here.
I'm Patrick Bateman.
Hey, Paul! As a film bro and as a teenage boy, I had to wear a suit to Minions. Every time I went to the mall earlier because I had to get my Minion 2 ticket. Because the ones I got, it was paper. Ugh. It's like the West Side Story IMAX ones, so bleh. So I want to get another one. It's not like the official one I went to go watch the movie with, but it's a ticket, so I had to have it. And there's so many like teenage boys with suits. It was kind of funny because they stole my idea. I was I was like the first wave of people to do it. Well, everybody this weekend is the first wave of people to do it. So hey, at least I did it. So Minions 2, The Rise of Gru. That rhymes. What can I? To be honest, what can I say? It's Minions 2. We bought most of them on Blu-ray. We didn't get the Despicable Me 2 because we couldn't find it anywhere. But we didn't rewatch them. Yeah, we didn't. I got almost all the references anyway, so it's fine. Like Dr. Nefario, that was a reference to the first 3 movies. So yeah, it's kind of obvious. It's a little obvious, but I don't know if many people would get it. But yeah, like it's a lot of. I like the Minions. They're kind of funny. They're kind of really funny, especially in this one. Anyway, like when there was like a scene when somebody got hurt, and then 2 Minions were like ambulance people, and they're like pronto, pronto, pronto. That's really funny. That made me laugh. I will give Illumination this. They use their background like jokes pretty effectively. Like their background stuff is really funny. In my opinion, it's really funny. I can't really say what I disliked about the movie because there's a bunch of things I disliked about the movie, like how there's a bunch of plot conveniences, like it's in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. Like how the bunny guy, how Kevin, I think, he was like, he remember your inner training, and he was like, ah, and then the fire, and then stuff like that. It's like, oh my god, all of a sudden he remembers his training, and then oh, he's awesome at it. Just like, okay, okay, it's a kids movie, so I mean, I can't really say it's a kids movie anymore because Pixar, well, they've gone off the deep end now. Lightyear's okay. I mean, it's just okay. All right. So they kind of gone on the deep end. But for example, like the early work, Ratatouille, Up, Cars, Toy Story, they are amazing films, and they are not like they are kids movies, but they're like actually really really good. So I can't really say Despicable Me is a kids movie. So that's an actual flaw. So yeah, my flaw is like there's a bunch of plot conveniences. Like yeah, there's a bunch of plot conveniences. I'm not sometimes the biggest fan of over exaggeration, of like slapstick. Like for example, like and it's in the trailer when Bob or Stuart or I don't know, or Stu, I don't know, the cool guy, the one with the one, and he's like really cool. He reminds me of Josh because he's like he acts all cool, but really he's just like a weak kid. Ha, Josh. So he, I can't speak. So they're trying to break a piece of wood, right? And then you've seen this in the trailer, like I said many times. Kevin is like, ugh, ugh, and then he falls over, and he's like, Kevin. He starts beating the living out of him. That stuff like that, I get why it's funny, but it just doesn't really make me laugh because I'm like, it's like kind of low bar funny, but a lot of there's a scene when they're trying to break in somewhere, and then the bad guys the minions for the bad guys, they're like, where are they? And like I said, bad elimination with their background comedy. The cool guy who he had to paint as a brick, like so he like disguised himself as a brick wall. He was like in the middle of the field, and he was like, oh, he turned back, showing his yellow. The minions of the bad guys were looking at him, so they could have not seen him. He ran back, and did that, and it was so funny. I have no idea why. My mom was like looking at me like, "Why are you laughing so hard?" I'm like, "It's just the minion, the minion, not Dominion, the minion." I asked my parents like, "Have you ever thought your life would go this way, taking your two teenage boys, one in a suit, one with his blankets, to a Minions: The Rise of Gru, and a early showing on Thursday?" I don't know. I don't think I can call it early showing because it's just like premiere, but it's early. I don't know. I just like calling it early to be pretentious. They were like, no, but I enjoyed my time with Minions: Rise of Gru. 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, it's just like obvious stuff that it's like a illumination stuff. Actually, I was kind of surprised by the animation, like the water. I don't know, it just looked cool. It looked cool. The texture on the crocodiles, I'm like, whoa, okay, illumination. But yeah, I enjoyed my time with the Minions. I would rewatch it with friends, obviously, in a suit. Maybe with not like a little less of a suit, but I'm still gonna dress fancy for the Minions. So, I really enjoyed my time with it. So, what do you think of it? And did you go in a suit or a dress, or did you go in any sort of fancy thing? Not necessarily a suit or a dress, just like any fancy thing, because that is not a proper. Or as a Minion, dress fancy like a suit any other way, like any other fancy, and a Minion. That's the only way you can watch this movie. So